I'm Josh. I'm the owner here at JM Tree Service. I'm out here at your property. There's kind of a lot of stuff to go over, so I just want to cover it with you in this video. So you've got a big willow tree right here. I read the tape that says like trim the dead branch over the wires. The problem is that this stub right here is completely dead. That should come off. This trunk here is like 90% dead. So yes, there's dead branches over the wires, but the whole thing just needs to come down. Realistically, the trunk on the left should come off too, but that one's not actually over the wires. If it falls, it's just going to kind of lay in the creek bed or like in this area over here. So of course, if kids were playing, it would be a bad situation, but whatever, like that's also probably on the neighbor's property. So my recommendation is to get rid of this tree. Honestly, this is a project that we probably need to wait until June or July when the ground is really dry, really hard, and bring a bucket truck. We've got 3 different bucket trucks. 2 of them are pretty friendly on lawns. One of them is taller and heavier. We try not to go on lawns with it. We'd bring one of the smaller, lighter trucks in. We'd have to come in here with the bucket, and then we could take down, you got like a little basswood here marked for removal right at the corner of the fence. You got this big nori maple here. You want to have some of this elevated over the yard and over the wires. You've got another nori maple down there. I think it's maybe this one. It just needs a little bit of pruning, not much. And then you've got a maple, broken off nori maple stub right next to that just needs to come down. So you got the stub removal, you've got the nori maple, just a quick cleanup. You've got this nori maple with a pretty heavy prune over the wires and over the yard. You've got the little basswood here to remove. You've got this willow, the double trunk willow, the stub, and then this section here that should come out. And then on the other side, this is the main reason we need the bucket truck in here, is on the other side you've got a black walnut. That's this curvy tree right here is a black walnut, and it's really close. Those are primary voltage lines right there at the top of the pole, and the top of this tree goes right next to them. So we've got to back a bucket truck up to this bank and go up and do that out of an insulated bucket truck. That's the only safe way to get that done. So we got to have a bucket truck come in to do this little black walnut, which for a little tree, it's going to be a lot of work, you know, getting it down, getting it across the creek, etc. So you got, what, 2 removals, 3 removals, 4 removals, more or less. 4 removals being the black walnut, the double trunk willow, this little guy here on the corner, and then the stub that's like half a tree down there. Then you've got 2 trims behind the fence, one being this big nori maple here, and then the other nori maple down there. This is a quaking aspen here. It's nori maple right next to that. Doesn't need much from the looks of it from the ground. It just needs a quick cleanup. You do have a big soft maple, big red maple, it looks like right here, that needs quite a bit of pruning. And then you do have, it's either an ash or a nori maple at the right side. I'll walk over there quick. You only have 1 trunk marked on that tree in the front. What I'm going to do is I'm going to package all the backyard stuff, because I don't want to itemize each and everything, because honestly it's not worth us coming in and doing 1 or 2 things. If we come in and we just take care of everything behind the fence that we talked about, which actually just gives you a good view. I think the broken stub is right there, and then this is the maple that needs a little bit of pruning. I'd say you're going to spend probably $3,500 for everything behind the fence that we just talked about. So the 1 stub removal, this tree getting a quick cleanup, this big Norway maple getting a pretty heavy prune, this willow coming down, which is quite a bit of canopy up there, but a lot of dead up in there, and that thing is all right at the bottom, and then the little stub coming off, and then the black walnut that curls over the wires getting done. The maple in the backyard, it looks like you got between $800 and $1,000 to do the pruning on that. Pretty tall tree. Definitely needs some thinning out up here. I'm going to look at it to see how much material. So, like I said, you might as well just figure on $1,000 for that tree. And then the last thing is going to be, so it's going to be a long video while I walk over to this other tree. I'll give you 2 options on this tree on the right side of the garage. I'm going to read your tape first. I didn't realize you had written on the tapes until I got close to the ones in the back. So let me read what your tape says here. Trim first branch. Okay, so I'm assuming that on this tree you just want this limb probably taken off and maybe this drooper going towards the neighbors. That's pretty minimal. I'd say we can do this right side for $1,000. I didn't read your tape here, but this soft maple, this red maple, I'd elevate the canopy, so I'd take some of these low limbs that are kind of coming up over the house, a couple limbs growing towards the neighbor's house. I'd elevate those up, thin out the upper canopy, make the tree healthy. And then probably the same thing with this. Just elevate the canopy up a little bit. Tiny bit of thinning up there. You probably got $350 in this one, $800, $900 in that one. We'll just say $1,000 on the right side for the two. For this red maple, and this is a nori maple here, and then $3 grand for the stuff behind the fence. So you basically got a $4 grand package over here to take care of everything you want to get done. I'm not saying that we couldn't go all day behind that fence doing a lot more work, but that kind of takes care of your main target items. If you have any questions, give me a call, 509-4939. Let me know what you want to do, and we'll go from there. Thanks.